Good morning. I'm Cameron Duhan. This is my time management course for my LTech class at the University of North Texas, and I would like to talk to you all about how to manage your time more efficiently. So, why is it important to manage your time? For our first slide of managing your time, you need to manage your time more wisely by staying on top of your work, always writing your information down, or if you have like an online class or even in class, always stay on top of your assignments. Make sure you always look to see what you have due the next week or due the next day. Try to stay ahead of what you are trying to do. Yes. Do y'all have any questions for me so far with the presentation? Yes, name please.
Hi, I'm Sam. I was wondering if daily planners would possibly be a good thing to keep track of.
Yes, keeping up with the daily planner, writing stuff down. Like if you have them like through Monday through Friday, if you have your assignments always written out or like assignments ahead of time, that is a very good question. Yes. Anybody else? Yes, name please.
Name's Steve.
Steve. All right.
Yeah, man. So, what are some examples of like how I can get more involved in class? Like it says right there.
Being involved in class is that's a great question. So, being involved in class with if you have online classes or even if you have in classes, make sure you know like when your classes are, always show up early, be on time. For your online classes, make sure you're checking your work every day. If the teacher emails you, always check your emails to see what she has in your announcements or what she's telling you online. Great question. And moving on to the next slide, another part of time management is staying ahead. So if you have like work that's due like a week in advance, if you have some free time and you're not doing anything, try to bust it out and just write it down, finish it, submit it, get it done early if you can. It's always like have a checklist of your assignments to see like when stuff's due. Always know the dates so you know what days you have or what days you are free to do these assignments and finish them. And our next slide of time management is major assignments, such as tests, projects, work projects, and boss assignments. These are things that are major assignments that could help you or pass or fail a class or not get a job or get fired from a job. These are major things that could hurt you, and you need to stay on top of these things. Like if your boss assigns you something for work and you just kind of blow it off until the night before it's due or whatever, and you could get fired. Yes, are there any questions for me now as we resolve this time management course? Yes, Sam.
Yeah, so you would agree that procrastination probably isn't the best way to go about doing your work while you're in school?
Great question, Sam. Yes, procrastination is one of the worst things you could possibly do, because if you procrastinate till the last minute, you will just try to cram stuff in and you won't get anything done. It'll just be bad for everyone, including yourself.
Okay.
Yes, is there any other questions? Nobody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have a question. Steve. Yes.
Yeah. So, I know you said procrastination isn't really a really good thing. So I'm pretty much used to just staying up the night before I have an exam or any assignment due and just spending all night in Willis Library doing it. What are some better examples of how I can just get my work done faster? I don't know. Those are the questions.
Try to schedule out time each day, probably like a week prior to the exam, like 2 hours each day, and studying for those 2 hours and then leading up to it instead of studying all night before. Because if you study all night before, then you'll go to the test tired. You won't get enough sleep. You'll just be draggy. It's just not a good time for everybody. And if you study before, prior 2 hours before, each day, you'll be perfect for the exam.